Okay, we go to item 6. Item 6 calls for the review construction bidding processes and procedures and considerations of potential changes to construction bidding processes and procedures, including documents used for construction bidding. And Ms. L said, we don't have to comply. We're a water district, same as Moapa and other Virgin Valley water districts.
SNWA.
Pardon?
SNWA.
SNWA. That's just for those guys over across town. So we thank you for your interest, and we are going to change our bidding process, right?
Staff's been working on this, specifically kind of put a template forward that we can have a checklist to follow through on making sure each item, even in the past, a lot of these things that have actually been prior to done in all our bid projects. It's just we didn't have a checklist to go down to check off as we went. One item that came up was subcontractors list, and that's a newer item in NRS statutes that we're putting into our bid documents in the future that will help clarify and fix any issues that have come in the past, and going forward we'll fix that. The city's been very helpful in providing some of their templates that they use, and we've tailored that or adapted it to the district's needs, and that's some of the documents that we've provided to as backup material. Some of this we've looked at a little more in depth with this specific template that's been provided, and discussed the, let me bring it up here, the RFQ for qualifications for engineering. And that's something I think we might discuss more in depth. Want me to do a little of that, Kevin? You got some insight that you...
Yeah, in City of Mesquite's process for engineering services, they specifically have some guidelines there. What I'd like to do is modify that process so that we develop, send out a statement of qualifications for engineers for certain engineering services, and develop a pool of specialists in those areas that we can go to. If we need geotechnical, if we need survey, if we need site design, if we need treatment, whatever those expertises we need, and develop a pool of engineers to go to relative to those specific services in the future. That's done quite frequently in other places, and it opens the opportunity for other engineering firms to participate and be part of our engineering pool and our services. So it's something that we're going to take a look at in the next. After we get this piece on the construction bidding side done, we'll start taking a look at professional services next. So,
is there any public comment on this item?
Why would you not want to do this?
Pardon?
Why would you not want to do this?
Oh, it's kind of a long, lengthy.
Can I address that, Ted?
Yes, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I had to smile when Ted mentioned what he mentioned, and so that the rest of the public is kind of given some background on this. Barb came in a couple of meetings ago and said that there were some concerns about the bidding process that had been employed in the past on awarding contracts from the water district. Ted's response is in reference to NRS 338, which is the Public Works statute concerning how these are public funds. When these funds are going to be used to fund a public project, then there's a specific process that should be followed so that this project is awarded to the, generally speaking, the best bid or the lowest responsive bidder, so that the district gets the best deal and everything's out in the open and transparent. There is a provision in NRS 338, in fact it's twice in here, that says that this section, NRS 338, doesn't apply to Virgin Valley Water District, Moapa Valley Water District, and SNWA. Having said that, my feeling is, and I believe the board's this represents the feeling of the board. The board absolutely wants to comply with it, even though that technically under that provision of the statute, this may not apply to, well, in fact, it says on its face, it doesn't apply to the district. We have in the past complied with it. And there may have been issues in the past, small issues here and there that weren't totally followed. I'm not totally familiar with all of those. But generally, the district has complied with it nonetheless. And going forward, my understanding is the district is going to continue to do everything it needs to comply with the statute. And so all of the things that Kevin and Aaron talked about concerning the documents provided by the city is to go down that road of, okay, can we, is there a better way to do this? Can we have a more streamlined process, making sure we comply with everything? And that's the purpose of these documents. The only modification to that would be concerning awarding a contract relative to professional services for engineering, and in those cases, our needs might be somewhat different than the city's, and so how we might award a contract for professional services might differ somewhat from the way the city does it. But nevertheless, I think the board's committed to even in that situation, develop a pool, some fair process so that it gets out to all the potential engineers and they can all bid, and the district gets the best deal possible, which in turn is the best for the public.
Correct.
May I get some further clarification on
Yes.
that? So as it stands right now,
We need your name and
oh, the
address.
name is Rudy Mortel.
Okay.
I'm a resident of Mesquite, interested very much in our water rates and how our public money is being spent. So the question is, again, in regard to awards and non-bid awards, okay, is the board currently in a position, or does the board currently have the authority to make any awards it so chooses? Or is that something we're trying to, I guess, mitigate with this bidding process?
As I said, the board in the past, the district in the past has complied generally with NRS 338. Aaron told me about one incident where there was a minor, issue potentially with something, but I think that precipitated, can this be done even better so that we make sure that we absolutely comply with every bid that goes out. So the intention is to absolutely comply with NRS 338, and historically, we've done the best we can to comply with it, and substantially we have.
So any bids or any proposals that are being made, okay, are made by management to the board for their approval?